Hello everyone. I wanted to make one more video to discuss the sorting mechanism that I have. Now it's something that is very important to me. I hate running around between the chests trying to, see where all my stuff goes and trying to sort it, and I hate keeping everything kind of, bunched up together in just in some chests. I want everything to be sorted so I know where everything is and how much I have of whatever it is that I need. Now, sorting is also the first thing that I actually do whenever I play Technic back map or anything with Buildcraft, because actually the only thing you need to make sorting is Buildcraft, which is why it's definitely one of my most favorite mods for Minecraft ever, just because of that sorting. So basically, as you play Minecraft, obviously you collect a bunch of stuff, especially if you play something with Buildcraft. You're probably going to have quarries, um, as you can see on my minimap, or over there, actually one quarry just finished. So I have a quarry running. I have some farms running. Farms are from forestry, which is another awesome Minecraft mod, but also part of the Technic pack. So you run a bunch of stuff, you find a bunch of stuff, and you don't want to run around trying to sort it all into chests. So what you do is what I usually do is I have one master input for everything that collects, be it farms, quarries, or just obsidian pipe kind of dropouts where you just come to it and you just drop stuff and it sucks it into the main system. And you have just one input. Now there's my main input where everything kind of goes together into. And let me show you what happens afterwards. All the sorting, everything is done 100% automatically. So here it is. There's my elevator, and there's another describe how to do this. And let's see. Okay, it's on the first floor. So this is my storage area. I got some rat problem. It looks like need to call exterminators. Anyway, so my input goes in. It gets processed through a bunch of diamond pipes, and then everything gets dropped into here. And I have signed chests which define what is being kept in that particular chest. In particular, this is some simple crafts, mob drops, and flint. Actually need a new chest for flint, it seems. Cobblestone with stone and brick, wood. So everything is nicely sorted. Marble, I need more marble. Dirt and gravel, and separate chests for diamonds, just because they're special. Some gems. Basically, you can create whatever you want, right? It's all about the filtering that you do. So in this room, all you have is pipes where stuff is being dropped in. As you can see, some wood just dropped in there. And I'm hoping to see if anything else drops, but not at this time. And before it gets dropped into here, there's another floor which has all the filtering. And as you can see, this is basically just a bunch of diamond pipes with filtering set up. And the way it works is it gets dropped into here, and the way I found to do it, which worked best for me because of the limited amount of space you can actually allocate for filtering of items. So for example, this chest has a bunch of items being filtered into it. As you can see, I'm actually using, well, 3 lines in this case, but I could use 2. But sometimes you, like armor and weapons, for example, you actually use 4 and they're all filled out. So what I do is I actually snake my output as such above, so it goes above every single chest in the room like that. And then when it passes on top of it, I have a diamond pipe with filtering in it. So as stuff passes through the system, through the main pipe, it gets filtered into the chest. Pretty self-explanatory. And I actually signed it all here so I can remember which diamond pipe leads to what chest. So, and actually even before this happens, before that, what I have is one floor above me, there is a bunch of production that is happening. There's actually 2 floors. There's even one more floor above me, which which makes the refined fuel for engines. Those are 2 by. But what happens is that this is where the main input actually comes from farms and everything. Now the black is basically throwaway cobblestone because I can't find a good use for it and I have way too much of it. But everything else goes around the room, and then it goes to the filtering of diamond pipes and into the chest on the floor beneath me. So before it goes there, as I said, it goes around the room, and as it goes around the room, I have these production cells. Each one of them produces something. Like this one, for example, is a rubber factory. So I have a diamond pipe that filters out the resin into here. And then as resin gets processed into rubber, it goes back to the system, and then it just goes around and gets sorted on the floor beneath me and drops into the chest. So, and actually, if you're wondering, this obsidian pipe right here, in case I drop a bunch of stacks of resin that this electric furnace cannot handle, it will just drop in here and it's just gonna lay here as if you dropped it. So this powered obsidian pipe is actually gonna pick it up and return it to the system, so it's all gonna circulate until all of it gets processed. So even if you drop like 6 stacks of resin, let's say, eventually they'll just circulate until every single one of them gets processed into rubber and gets dumped into the system and later on sorted. So another example, man, look at those rats everywhere. Flint production, so gravel goes into here. So if you look at the diamond pipe, gravel goes into blue one, gets dropped in here. Now this iron switch in here, actually this iron switch right here, actually if I switch it to that direction, it's just gonna bypass the whole production just in case I actually need the gravel. I will actually turn this pipe and it will just go back to the system without being processed into flint. This is fertilizer production using some Buildcraft's automated crafting tables. Both kinds of fertilizers are being processed here, also dumped back in the system as actual, fertilizer. Something can be used. And then sand melting into glass, so the same idea. I have sand here, so it gets dropped. If I turn this iron switch, it's actually going to bypass the filter and not be processed, melted into glass. This is bread production. This is ore mystery. Now this is absolutely important. This is priority 1, is that every ore you mine from the quarry or by yourself first needs to be massed, and then it needs to be melted in a furnace into ingots, because you actually get 2 dust units for every single ore you find, and every single dust unit is processed into ingot. So you're doubling your ore production as you find. This is a manual drop-off point, so everything you drop in here will actually go around the system, be processed if needed, and then get down here and get to sorting. Okay. I also have, just so happens that I have energy production in here. It's nice to keep it close. I haven't been always running this expensive glass fiber optics electricity cables. I used to run copper before I had some diamonds, obviously, and vicinity makes a huge difference for copper cables, as you probably know. And so that is how I have my production / sorting line set up. And actually, if I go to the topmost floor, this is where I produce. This is where the fertilizer goes into, and the input from the farms, in particular the sugarcane farm down there. As you can see, there's sugarcane flowing through the system. Eventually it's going to get here, and instead of being sent to, well, before it would get sent to the chest, it actually has to go through here. And just so happens that I actually process it in this huge production area right here where all the fermenters are. Now these are from forestry mod pack. Okay, this is a forestry mod. It gets processed into biofuel. The biofuel goes into the stills to be processed into efficient, or whatever it's called, some kind of efficient biofuel, which is orange, which outputs more electricity, stored in a tank and goes back to the system. So the liquid stuff is definitely not part of the sorting. This is just for the engines. What is part of the whole sorting / production area are these pipes as stuff moves through them. And so yeah, that is it. So whenever I need to get something, I just go to the first floor. I have a bunch of chests. I know which chest to go to. I just pick it up from there, and whatever I drop into manual drop-off, so whatever somehow gets into the system, will get filtered down to a chest where it actually belongs.